Thinking about fibromyalgia some more in depth here. So fibromyalgia is this very complex seeming condition, isn't it? And people are often asking how to get relief from symptoms, how to deal with their various symptoms, right? But how do you actually fix fibromyalgia? And I'm going to get to the answer to this in a minute here. But it begs the question, can you get to a point where you are no longer burdened constantly with chronic pain and chronic fatigue? And if so, how is that done? How can you accomplish this, right? Well, so the answer is emphatically yes. Yes, you can become free from chronic pain, free from chronic fatigue. You can eliminate chronic digestive problems. You can eliminate chronic insomnia, brain fog. You can completely get your life back from these things. But the question is always how? How can this possibly be done? And we won't find the answer in a drug, either new or old, or even a combination of drugs. To really fix fibromyalgia, you need to fix where the actual problems are. And notice I said problems, not just problem. This is because there isn't just one problem occurring when dealing with fibromyalgia. There's a multitude of problems. There's multiple problems occurring over multiple body systems. So just look at all the different types of pain as an example. You got your dull pain, you got your sharp pain, there's heavy pains and burning pains. Some that seem like they're at the skin level or at the muscle level. Some that are more in the bones or joints. Some that are worse in the morning, some that are worse in the evenings. These pains represent a variety of problems in the body. So you see why just one thing can't possibly work. You take one thing and it affects one body system or one part of a body system, and sure, it might help one type of pain, but then it doesn't help others. And it might cause a problem in that area, which will eventually cause other problems. That's why to properly deal with fibromyalgia, you need a multifaceted approach. An approach that takes multiple systems into account and that utilizes multiple ways of harmonizing those systems. So what do we do? How do we look at this? How do we address this? So we created this program. It's called the Fibro Warriors Program. And it is designed to take all of these aspects of fibromyalgia into account and to address them in the appropriate order so that the body will start to function the way it needs to in order to eliminate pain naturally. So that the body starts taking care of itself. Because our bodies can fight pain. Our bodies can fight inflammation. Our bodies can fight infection. But our body needs to be in the appropriate state to do that. Imagine staying awake for 3 days straight. And then try to do any complex task that's going to really involve your brain. It's very difficult, right? Your body is not in a good state in order to do that, unless you've really been trained to do that kind of thing. So to do this, to accomplish this with fibromyalgia, we like to use what I call the 4 pillars. And I'm going to explain what these are in just a minute here. These pillars are what hold this whole program up, and it make it able to support the great weight and burden that fibromyalgia puts on those who are suffering from it. So just imagine a table with 4 legs that it needs in order to properly stand up. And if you take out just one of those legs, this table becomes basically unstable or just completely collapses altogether. Now you take out 2 of those legs and the table will just never stand. So we came up with these 4 pillars to basically hold this whole thing up. So to make sure that when somebody properly uses these, there's basically no margin for error anymore. It means that when we guide someone through these 4 pillars, it's almost impossible for them not to be successful. So what do they look like? Now we've broken these into 2 primary sections. The first is designed to harmonize your body systems and to harmonize your whole life. So when we first start out with clients, right, they come to us and they're usually in a pretty difficult place. They hurt all over the place, right? Fibromyalgia, there's pain basically everywhere and there's different types of pain. And there's a lot of sensitivity that comes along with this. And there's a huge variety of factors that the body is sensitive to. Could be the weather, could be stress, could be something you've eaten recently. And it's a rough place. They're also very exhausted. They have brain fog, insomnia, and probably a whole bunch of other symptoms. Maybe hot flashes, who knows what, urinary problems. The point is, it's a difficult picture to deal with. So we designed it so that it's got a lot of ease on the front end, so that people can begin feeling less pain and more energy right away without having to do much. Now we accomplish this with a combination of plant-based medicines, which are designed to meet the needs of the body systems that are being overwhelmed by the fibromyalgia. And then we combine this with some specialized techniques that we call gasotransmitter therapy. And we guide our clients through this therapy step by step, starting with about 4 or 5 minutes per day. It is literally that simple. We walk through every single step of it. So you really can't get them wrong. Now, these exercises allow the body to start healing itself from the inside. And then it also gives the fibromyalgia sufferer an extremely effective tool that they can use for the rest of their lives whenever their bodies might need it. So for example, they catch a cold, years down the road, they've got a tool that they can use themselves to combat that right away. Now, the second section of this is designed to feed both your body and feed your mind. And now we know it's no secret, right, that what we put into our bodies is absolutely critical to how our bodies function. So for example, if you put too much sugar and too many refined carbohydrates into your body's going to start to function improperly. It's going to become overburdened, and you'll develop type 2 diabetes. We all know this. So as the pain and fatigue begin to decrease with the first part of this, we start to build in a customized lifestyle diet so that our clients are constantly feeding their bodies with what they need in order to function optimally. And that's the emphasis here is on lifestyle. This isn't about some fad diet that you do for a little bit. No, this is not some one-size-fits-all approach. We know that each person has individual needs. We know that each person has their own dietary preferences. We come from different parts of the world, right? And the goal here is to set up a lifestyle that is easy and comfortable, something that you enjoy doing and constantly drives you toward health and vitality. That's what's important. It should be something that is easy to maintain for the rest of your life. And the final pillar that I'm going to get into here is really how we feed our minds. And this is often one of the most overlooked pieces of the puzzle when it comes to fibromyalgia. We get very caught up in how we're going to eliminate a pain or how we're going to deal with this symptom. But then we have to start really looking long term. And to do that, we have to really cultivate what's going on inside our minds. Now, when any of us has suffered from long-term pain or chronic fatigue or any debilitating condition, not just fibromyalgia, it slowly causes the mind to go into this space of always having those issues. It's a sick mindset. And it's terrible because it creeps up on us over time without us realizing it. So when we take the mind and we turn it into the mindset of one of health and vibrancy and vitality and happiness and love, we dramatically change the entire world around us. The entire world will suddenly look different. And when we do this along with the other pillars of the program, we create a massive change in the state of our health. We create a new life that is full of joy and possibility. So using these 4 pillars together will completely change everything.